Hello? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my own live stream. Is not starting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Wait. Hi. Okay, there's delay. That's all I know. However, sorry if you can hear me in the background. That is just me checking on my phone if my stream is working. If it does work, I will stop and it will sound normal. So I have to stall now for 5 minutes. You may ask why. You may ask why I have all of this here. Well, you see, I have tried to stream a little bit ago, and it did not go so well. A little bit ago, I mean like half an hour ago. Okay, if I ever stop, it's probably because I'm listening to my own voice. Because it's so good. No, it's just, you get it. I'm talking to no one. That went way too high. What are you doing here? Hi. I'm waiting for 5 minutes to make sure that the stream doesn't crash, because it crashed last time. And that is what all of this is coming from. So far it's going well though, because I streamed with a program that I used to use, which also fuck off, which I used when I was like 11 years old. Also, turns out when I was like trying to private the recording, I have done a live stream. Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have done 14 streams. Hey, were you a person who were? I assume not, because you would have said something. If you really wanted to crash out, you should have seen. You should have seen. You should have seen what just happened 3 minutes ago. That's the okay. So what I was saying is that the program kept like looping. So I would like say something, and then the stream would turn off and turn on, and then it would keep looping what I had just said, like a millisecond of it. I was literally in a time loop, and then it would randomly like cut off. And so sad because you can't actually see that in the like the VOD, what, the VOD of it. Aw, it's okay. You're here for one that works. It does seem like it's working. I should probably move more, but everything seems to be working well. Yay. So it turns out if you want to live stream, oh no, I didn't unlist it fast enough. Okay. The body me. Well, now that I know the stream is hopefully working, I will, hold on, let's make a folder and let me hide what has happened here. Because I need to post about this on Tumblr. No one's gonna, like, I don't think there's gonna be people, but just for my ego, I need to post it on Tumblr. Let's ignore all of this. Stream, question mark? What? A live stream in the grand year 2026? Actually, okay, it would have been funnier if I hadn't finished an animation like less than 24 hours ago and posted it. Because last time I posted something was 2023, so it would have been funny if I would have done a live stream out of nowhere in like 2 to 3 years later. Except now we're here, and I did just, the animation is not related to this. Like genuinely, that just happened. I actually wrote down the idea to do a 10-year live stream like months ago. I don't even remember doing it, but I put it in my calendar. And so now I must go through with it. I have to commit to the bit, and this is what we're here to do. I need to get comfortable, so then I can actually, well, there's so many things I need to do. First, I need to post on Tumblr. Why are there 3? Okay, no, there's 2 people. One person watching is always me on my phone. Why is there one other person? So yes, the title says it all. I will explain it, but I don't think there's much I need to explain. I have like multiple folders here. I should probably close them. I have multiple folders here of art from all of the years. I know you are, but it says there's 3 people and -1. That means there's 2 people. That's one more person. That's not you. I am mommy. Okay, so I need to copy the link. There we go. I need to open Tumblr. This is what I need. Actually, this is a Discord call. This is exactly what Discord calls are like when one of theirs like mic doesn't work. Damn, maybe my YouTube is lying to me. This is literally like when someone is in the no mic VC. Fucking no. Someone is in no mic. They're chatting. The other one is just talking. Isn't that what live streams are at the end of the day? Okay. I'm trying so hard to concentrate just to post on fucking Tumblr. Hold on. I can do this. Discard, no. Okay. Create. No, this is not what I wanted. Link. Yes. Link. Paste the link. Yes. Insert, please. No, please. There we go. What do I call this? Yes. We'll delete this when I remember oh my god, remember that the live is over. There we go. Posted. That's it. Now I can start. Hello, hi. I'm so sorry if my mic peaks. Hold on, let me fix this. I might sound really loud when I giggle. I will giggle a lot because when I'm nervous I giggle. And I am nervous because I'm live streaming for some reason. It's not letting me. Okay, well if it peaks, I'm so sorry. Okay, I can start. Yay. This is great. I don't understand. Take it that why the hell do you have a little crown next to you? Why are you my top fan? Oh my god, that's crazy. Hi, yes. This is right, that's amazing. I do think like since I barely post anything anymore, not that I ever posted that much. I do think that almost everyone who is subscribed to me is here from years ago. Oh my god, Anochi, you're number 2. Look at that. YouTube acknowledges it. But yeah, so maybe some of the art I show now will be more familiar to you than newer stuff. Okay. Anyways, now I'm so close. I just need to. Okay, there we go. So, I'm doing this live stream because I started digital art in 2016. I did draw like consistently a bit earlier in the same year, or like 2015 I guess, but digital art when I started is literally I'm gonna get so distracted by chat. Is there XP on YouTube? What the hell? What are they doing? Anyways, so when I started digital art is really when I started consistently. Wait, it's you! Oh my... Salut, Vadim! Wesh! I am losing my mind. Oh my god, hi! It's been so long. But you're both a distraction. This is what happened. Maybe okay, the reason I made this a live stream is because I was gonna kind of record it, but I thought it would be funny to do a live stream. And I also, I thought that if I did a live stream, then I would have to keep talking. My original plan was that I was just going to talk and then fully ignore chat, so it would pretty much not be a live stream, just me recording. Because first of all, I didn't think there would be anyone here, but also I just was like, I gotta talk. I have all these. I have all these. Oh god. So yes, it's been 10 years since I started digital art because it's 2026 and my brain sometimes struggles with putting the math together that it's been 10 years. Technically, I haven't lived through 2026, but if you look at the number of folders, there are 10 folders. So technically, I have been drawing. So I don't have Instagram. Fun fact. Tumblr, guys, Tumblr is the only thing I post on. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't post on anything else. Yeah. Yeah, even for ERL people, I just don't. I have to filter myself on live streams. It's very. I have to not say certain things like I would normally say. But yeah. My Tumblr. Hold on. You can DM me on Tumblr and I can give you like Discord or Messenger or something. There we go. This is my beautiful. This is self promo, guys. But anyways, yes. So the title is very self-explanatory. I have a bunch of folders with a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but a couple pieces of art from every year, and I will like redraw them because I personally find redrawing very fun. I think it's an ego boost too because yes, you're welcome. I find redrawing to be an ego boost because I'm able to draw something better than I used to in less time. So like whenever I'm art block, I really like looking at old artworks and redrawing them because it's so fun. It's such a specific feeling that you really don't get from anything else, in my opinion. I also get really distracted by doing it sometimes when I'm home and I have access to old notebooks because I open them and I start redrawing stuff in them. So it was actually a little hard to find things that would be interesting to redraw that I haven't already redrawn because I do it so often. And also, this isn't, yes, the reason I have this here is because this is not going to be a summary of my art. It's more of just like I redraw them. Well, not draw. I'm gonna like just doodle them because there's no way I'm sort of rendering like 10 pieces on stream. But I have a bunch of. I have done summaries. So this is pretty much that. If you want a summary of my art in the past 10 years, like this is it. This is kind of like the collection of all of them. And I also have. Will it show up on my stream? It will not. I also have a 2025 art summary. I want to say this just so you don't assume that what I'm showing is the best of what I've done. Here we go, we have a 2025, yay! Because I probably could showcase like, wow, look at this piece, I really like it, it looks so cool. I will do that a couple times, but this isn't like for every single year. Because it's not interesting to just be like, cool piece, wow. And I think it's not very realistic because I feel like very often, like, of course, not to get into the whole, social media thing, but like, we do tend to show the best of what we make or what we are even. And so I think it's like honest, not even honest, it's just I want to talk about the bad, not the bad, just like the struggles, the thoughts, the thought processes, how everything went. What, because I assumed What do you mean? You don't need to know anything. Look at this. It's just a template. Like, wait, it's just this. Like, also you can notice here, I've been using the same template. Like, ever since, what is this, 2019? I've been using the same frame. I've just, like, changed the text or something, but now in 3 years I have not changed the text. It literally, there's a frame, and I just put images there. That's it. How do I do it? I just scroll through my files, and then I check the date. I'm like, is this the right month? Sometimes I lie. I know, sometimes I lie on my art summaries. Sometimes something was drawn in May, but I'll put it for June, because I think it's a better representation of my art back then. I know, and I'm sorry. Yeah, summers are fun. I don't really care for them anymore, but I still do them out of habit. I will also talk about habits. Oh my god, guys, I have so much to talk about. But yeah, so this is more of a showcase of my art, but there we go. Wow, so much. That's true. Oh my god, I am going to talk about sketchbook later. Sketchbooks are coming up. Sketchbooks are also what made it hard. Well, okay, yeah, but look, this is a sketchbook because in April I didn't do anything digital. This is from a sketchbook. But I mean, yeah. See, we have March and April where I just did nothing this year. Just didn't draw anything digitally. But yeah, we are going the archives. We can start with 2016. Oh my god, it's the year. Is it the year I discovered Wildcats? Maybe. I don't think it is, but it's really close. But it's the year my little self, 3 apples tall, I started using I didn't have a phone actually. I had an iPad, not an iPad. I had a normal tablet. I don't even know what brand it was. I had a Tangle tablet that I drew with. No pen, because back in the day, we didn't use pens. The real soldiers used their little fingers. And so I used my little fingers to draw on this thing called Sketchpad, I think. I don't remember. I know some people, if you know, you know. And they deleted the app, and I know that some people still have it on their old tablets, like downloaded, and that's like it's like Flappy Birds. It's like the last remains of it's the last remains of that back in the day. Okay, but like I'm allowed to say that it has been 10 years. I wasn't allowed there. Oh my god, I have to on Reddit. I barely have ever used Reddit, but I have posted like what 3 things on there, and I think in like 2019 or 2020, I posted like a random artwork on like r/art, and then someone commented, like, no shade to this person. Now I know what they were talking about. They commented being like, this is so nice, and like you have so much more improvement left, but like you have this art style that like a lot of beginners do, and that's good. I can see you going places. And I was so pissed off. I was like, beginner? I have been drawing for like 4 years. See, now I have more say. Now if someone called me a beginner, I can get mad. 4 years? It's a lot for a child. In the grand scheme of things, not that much. But 10 years? 10 years is something. Now if they said this to me, I could beef with them. But yeah, some people are younger than my art. People that were born when I started drawing digitally now go to like 6th or 5th grade. That's what's up, guys. We age fast. But that's the thing also, because when I imagined, like when I was halfway through, let's say, 5 years in, exactly, we are still beginners. Because I thought like, oh my god, 10 years is like the peak. You are a professional artist by that point. That's just wrong. I'm here now, and there's still so much to learn. So much to do. So yes, I lost my train of thought, but we can move on. We can start. Is there anything else I want to? I'll probably say it if it comes to mind. 2016. I'm drawing on my crunchy little tablet with my crunchy little fingers. And this is what it looked like. Or, oh my god, I didn't get any of the images that, okay. I should have, just, don't peek. Okay, but 2017, this is spoilers, but this is just, let's hide this. This thing over here, like, if you see this, this right here, I don't know how I managed to not have it on the other one. I know, we'll mix them. This, like, first of all, the fact that I was drawing on this program meant that back in the day, I'm gonna keep saying that. No, but the program had only one format, so all of my art from back then was in this exact same format. Maybe like vertical if we got fancy about it. But the reason why a lot of my like OG pieces have this little thing is because these are literally screenshots. These are not exported. No. Because then I would use this to like see, this is kind of like tab on our Alpaca. If I do this, like most of the UI goes away. So this is what I did, and I screenshotted it, except then I had this little button which I'm meant to press to get the UI was just left and everything. I don't know how I managed to actually, I did not notice that almost all of the ones that I have here have it probably like removed, or I somehow exported them like years later for archiving reasons. But yes, oh my god, we have a mix. I need to start drawing because otherwise I'm just lying in my title. I got this. I did. Yes. Oh my god, she's so young. Guys, Mixa is almost as old as my art career. Am I allowed to call it a career? I don't know. Look at her. She's so baby. This is exactly how we draw every single thing. Because stop. What do you have against? What is French? Oh, there is French actually. Sorry, it might be. I'm not put a trigger warning. But yeah, I did not. I forgot Mix's birthday. I'm such an awful parent. Her birthday is on the 18th of December, because that is the date that I could find for like the oldest drawing of her. So that is her official birthday, and I forgot it, and I didn't do anything for it. I'm sorry. But I think this is not the earliest drawing of her, but it's like, I think it's like the second or third drawing ever of her. Now, the reason why I even created her was because, do I draw her for new? No, I'll just draw whatever I feel like drawing. The reason why I made her is because I saw everyone else have personas on Google Plus, the real ones, no Google Plus, on Google Plus, and so I was like, I need to make mine, and I did this. I don't know what I was thinking. However, I will say, the black swirls were pretty. That was an original idea, because I don't think I've seen anyone else do this shit. Like, I don't know what this was. Why does she look like this? Why baby look like this? But anyway, so Mixa is very old. She's almost as old as the amount of time I've been drawing. Anything? No? Okay. She has changed a lot. I haven't actually changed her that much this year because I barely have drawn her this year. So she's kind of aging, but I think it's okay. Sometimes you have to just let things be and not force yourself to. No, she still has black swirls. She has. Because if you look at her. Because now. Hold on. Because in her design, she has this look. If we go like this, and then we go like this, she still has the black swirl here. There we go. There we go, baby. And she still has it on the ear. No, she has the ear one as well. These are the two that. No, wait. She also has the black one on her chest, but I'm not gonna draw her chest right now. Why is YouTube censoring you? What are you saying? Buddy. There we go. There we go. Hi, baby. I can draw better than this, guys, I swear. I was actually, I no need to defend myself. But here she is. Oh my god, this drawing. Oh my god. I thought this one would be fun to draw. That's the thing. I base these on like either if they have something, if they give me something I want to say, or if they just seem like they would be fun little redraws. A lot of cats this time. There's gonna be less. There's gonna be no cats in the next. No, there's gonna be some cats in the next one, but because of course I was a Wirecats kid. Everything I drew back then was Wirecats related. Because what else would it be? So yeah, I just drew on my tablet a lot. This was like very baby beginner drawing where I just like copied the same face on every single thing. Oh, let me see. I can check. But I think it's really cute. Honestly, like not to insult. Hi. There we go. I answered you. I saw it. Like, I think that this art style that I had, it has some charm, and it's somehow it's even cuter than some other art I've done. Like, I'm gonna talk about it. I think there's like one area of my art that I just didn't like it, man. I don't know why. I think like it felt like it had no soul, though like it probably did, but like I don't know. I have beef with it. This is like a batch of OCs I did, but like I never drew them again after this. They all had weird powers and stuff. There we go. Hi, Diamond. Wow, she's so epic, guys. Wow, she has the power to control things with her mind. Whoa, that's crazy. But yeah, it was a fun time. I think this isn't this. I mean, this was probably the year I started posting on Google Plus because that was my first social media. I will answer it. I will answer your ask. I have other asks that I must answer. You are not special. No, I swear, I'm getting to them, okay? I'm there are things happening. There is nothing happening actually, but I'll get to them eventually. But yeah, this was I think the year I started like towards the end of it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like almost like most of these are toward like made in the last month of 2016. So am I lying about it being 10 years since I started drawing? No, like yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, okay. Interestingly enough, my art style in terms of cats has like not changed in I think since 2023 by this point because I just don't draw cats that much. So there's like it's kind of hard to progress when you just don't draw something. I don't know. I draw humans now. I know I'm boring. I'm exactly what my my 10-year-old self fears. Hold on, I have to move the clones. I need to make room. There we go. But cats will have a special place in my heart. This is how I started. This is what I drew for many, many years. How do I fucking post her? See, I don't draw cats anymore. I don't have the magical ability to make up cat anatomy that I used to have. Because this is clearly correct cat anatomy, guys. Nothing weird about that. Ooh, I can make her tail swirly too. Wow, guys. Character design is my passion. Warrior Cats never leaves. Welcome, Zenith. Hi. I was gonna put some some of your OCs almost made it on here, but I decided to try and avoid. I decided to avoid OCs as much as possible, like other people's OCs, so I wouldn't have to credit them. I think now looking back, I think I have a single picture of someone else's OC, just because it was trying to prove a very specific point, and I couldn't find any other examples of it. So, actually, this reminds me because it was kind of hard to find non-OC, like other people's OC art from year 2017 especially, because that's also when I was a lot on DeviantArt, and so a lot of what I drew was other people's OCs. Like genuinely, I think 90% of the things I found were just like art with other people, art for other people, like ROCs interacting for their birthday or something. This is kind of a part, like Tumblr has some of that energy, but like I think this is some energy that we are missing nowadays, and I think a lot of artists have like mentioned it. Oh my god, really clean up, I did not notice you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's so much activity here. No, but like it was a lot of interaction. Like generally, I did so many like stupid collabs with people, and uh, like okay, some of them were embarrassing as hell. That is why I privated my DeviantArt stuff for a while. Then I brought it back because I was like, it's archiving stuff. It's been long enough that I can just say it was. It was when I was a wee little lad. But no, yeah, some of it was really embarrassing. I think the worst ones. I might be exposed. No, it's been long enough that I have to say it with my whole chest. I like saw people draw vent art, and then I would like draw. I guess not how I don't even know how to categorize it, but like vent adjacent art, where it would be like me with their OC, and I'd be like, "It's gonna be okay, buddy." But like I barely knew them. Why was I doing that? Like I had good intentions, but like looking back, some of it looked really stupid. Because it's like, girl, what? Especially because like vent art that people used to post was like, if any of you guys, if you were on like 2016, 17, like animation meme community or like animation community overall, you just saw like the vent art people posted was deeply disturbing. Like it was really normalized to have very personal things just online. I'm not gonna mention them because that strays too far from the topic. But being 13, the thing is, a lot of people in the communities were like around 13 back then, but I was actually younger than most people because I joined when I was about 10, and when I was 13, I was already like outside of that world. So it was mostly me witnessing people doing that as like a child, not even a teenager yet. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. No, you gotta show your friends your cool pictures. No, my bravery was a bit maybe too much. I was maybe too brave for my time. Oh my god, look at her. Wow, she's so me when I redraw something and it looks better than when I first drew it. Isn't that crazy? I don't. She has crystal balls with her. No comments. No comments. Yeah, old animation memes or something else. I also think, okay, I think that a lot of the old animation memes, like, the ceiling for what was considered amazing or even good was so much lower. Like, it was just a bunch of kids hyping each other up, and I think that was beautiful. There, there was some awful shit, of course, but I do think that nowadays you have to do some, like, like you have to just do a full feature length gorgeous movie for it to be considered good. Meanwhile, back in the day, like even people used to hype me up, and for a while I was kind of annoyed at them. as a child because I thought like that it was disingenuous. But I think people genuinely just were really supportive uh, of drawings, especially when they could tell that a person was younger. Because like literally, some of not this art, but I feel like 2017 art, I would have like some people in different art and Google Plus being like, "Whoa, this is like amazing! It's so beautiful," and it felt good. Afterwards, I was annoyed a couple of years later, but now I've grown to accept it. I've grown to understand why, and it was just people being nice, and I don't think you can be mad at people just being nice. I wonder what her. These just don't look like crystal balls. Hold on, can I make them? There we go. Give it some rendering. But yeah, a lot of tablet drawing. This is before I got a graphic tablet. Uh, I just draw my little app with my little fingers. This is so true. Yeah, the old art community was both extremes because now we censor ourselves, but we censor ourselves both. We censor the best and the worst. So we're kind of in the middle now. Like, do I want to go back to that time? Probably not. Like, I mean, more like if I could time travel and then have that internet back, would probably not want to. Like, it had some weird stuff to it as well. But it was, I picked this third one. I picked this. This is so fun. Okay, technically, I did do some of like these ones in like January of 2017, but I think no one's gonna blame me for picking these because I find them so funny. Like I drew, I think this was the first one, or like there was another one right before it, and I just traced it multiple times. There's a fourth one that I found with someone else's OC where I just traced this and like changed it to their OC because I was so proud of this pose. I was like, whoa, this is the most beautiful thing that I have ever made. And so I just traced it a bunch of times. I could just go, why did I do that? But I just think it's funny. And I had to showcase it here. Because it's okay. It's two things. You can even do this now, honestly. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're not a professional artist, even if you are, you can, but like if especially if you're not a professional artist, just trace your art. Like I'm not saying that I do it because most of the time it's not gonna like look that good, but it doesn't matter. Tracing references isn't that bad either. Like in terms of I'm so scared. No. If you I just believe that it's fine. Tracing is fine. Hold on. I have so many like drama YouTube videos playing in my head right now. Tracing is fine in certain circumstances as long as you don't claim it to be your own. There we go. I'm not gonna keep talking about this. Sorry, why is it takes me 3 times to read the chat on that? Yeah, you do have to drop a lot of that's the thing. Yeah, for some reason it feels like when you do compliment someone, you end up complimenting them so much. I don't know, it feels like an effort you have to make. But I think even back then it used to take an effort. Uh, no, don't clip me. I don't want to get canceled on Twitter. I don't even use YouTube. I can't get canceled. No, but it is an active effort to participate in fandom. Not in fandom, just art spaces. That's the thing. Oh my god, fandom is a whole thing. Like the art communities and fandoms, this is not the topic of this live stream. I'm not. There's so much to say, but like yeah, because I remember like back in my DeviantArt days, I would learn. I would genuinely every time I would see a new art compliment, I would like remember it and I would learn it so that I could use it in commenting other people's art in a way that would be like that would feel like unique and stuff. So it is an active effort. Like even back then, I tried really hard even as a kid to try and be as original. Well, not original, but like as varied as I could be with the compliments They weren't that varied. I'll be honest about that. But like, no, I think the effort matters. Like even especially, well, I don't want to talk about Tumblr. Which is probably sorry guys. I can't talk about how Twitter and Instagram works, but like even on Tumblr, like I do like there's effort put in tags and stuff. So yeah, if you want to see change, do it yourself. But also it is kind of hard. What if you try? But like it's not the same vibe as the old day event art. It's just really hard to capture the same vibe. Yay! No, but yeah. My favorite is saying you're gonna eat someone's art. I think that is an amazing trend, and then we need to keep it going. It's very funny. So I give him big ears. I'm giving him big ears. Here we go. He gets big ears. Okay, his card doesn't go that far then. He gets big ears. This is actually. Oh my god, wait. Is this the OC? No, it's not. But this is, I think, the template of the OC that went on to become my DeviantArt name, which was Hyvy, spelled with like HIVW. And I will be very honest, I do not remember that character. I don't remember making my DeviantArt account. So like I cannot give a cool origin story. I generally like at some point like a couple years ago I was looking back on the DeviantArt after it was over and then I oh god oh god cat anatomy oh god it haunted me and I looked at my name and I was like wait why did I give myself that name? Finally forgot. Forgot. Yes, exactly. Key smashing and eating. That is the top tier art. But yeah, I think making quote unquote fan art of people's OCs. That's the thing. There used to be a difference, I think, between like kind of like in the language, even in how I titled my Demon Dark pieces, there used to be a difference between gifts and oh my god, what was the other one? I guess fan art. I guess fan art and gifts. I think there was another term, but then there would be like a difference between something you would make for an artist that you perceive as like more popular and bigger and more famous, at which point it would be fan art technically, but then it would be different from art that you just make for people that you're like, oh my god, yay, we're friends? Question mark. I don't know. Like you're just like, yay, cool person. Here's some art. You know, we exist in the same spaces. And this is probably because I just don't draw my OCs that much anymore. Here we can see that 2016 was a lot of me just drawing random characters. Were they OCs? Ah! Oh my god, yes. Take care. I saw your Tumblr message. I shall remember it. Thank you for being here. But yeah, this is truly this goes under the topic of 10 years of digital art because I do think like internet presence does affect how you view art and how you do it like a lot. I'll probably get into it more when I get closer to the recent years because this is one I just posted on like Google Plus, just having fun. Like everyone just posted whatever art they wanted. I think there was almost no fan art like this year. I guess were cats. Wait, I died. What? I have no way of knowing if my stream crashes or not. Like genuinely. Maybe I should keep it open on my phone just in case. But yes. Why is it not showing up? There we go. There we go. Now you're instilling a fear in me that I talk for like an hour straight and turns out my oh my god sorry no I'm genuinely I literally I'm like, what if I just talk? That turns out that I'm just dead the whole time. Who knows? Oh my god, look at him. He's so cute. Oh my god, they're so baby. Okay, we started a bit rough with the mixes. I will admit that, but look at them. Okay, I should not. I will start glazing myself really hard in the latter years. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, 2016 was a special year because it is really what changed, and I think it was. I haven't. I need my glasses. I can barely see chat. No, but 2016 was a special year for me, especially because of this, because art actually became a part of my life. Workouts as well, which then included in the internet. So that was kind of like my introduction to posting on the internet. Because I think like as a child I did watch some YouTube videos for a bit, but like 2016 was really the year where I started engaging actively. That's amazing. Those are amazing live streams though. Oh my god, no. I also live streamed when I was a little kid, but like I was. That's amazing. I well, one, I did live stream when I was younger, and for when my previous attempt at streaming right now like was crashing, I was losing my mind because I was so scared. I was like, no, don't tell me I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail at like live streaming because I know I didn't know that I had live streamed 14 times before. However, I did remember one occasion I live streamed from a fucking airport. I live streamed from the same laptop in a fucking airport and it worked. And my ego would have been so dead if I hadn't managed right now to live stream while my 10-year-old could, my 10-year-old self could in a fucking airport. But it's working. Everything is fine. But yeah. What is my advice? Okay, 2006. I'll start drawing the. So here we can see some. This is technically someone else's OC. This is their name back then. I don't know what it is now, but I'll only be drawing Mixa then. Yes, this is mix. This is technically I think the first human Mixa, because like I didn't even start drawing her as a human. Then it was literally just because I wanted this pose, and it didn't work if like she was a cat. So I had forgotten this happened actually. I was a streamer, man. I don't even know how I did it. I don't remember that I did it. Just committed, man. Kids can do magical things, even though I can send you guys stuff because the quality of the live streams is crazy. It is pixelated in a way that I've never seen pixelated since then, and I don't think I'll ever see pixelated that way again. Like, goddamn. Hey, OBS works. OBS was really easy to set up. I started by using XSplit, which is what I used back then to stream. But then, yeah, that did not work. And OBS worked immediately with so much less hassle. So, yeah. Oh my god. Exams. I'm so sorry. Condolences? I said congrats almost. I forgot how to say condolences. No, this is good. Don't think about it. You can be here. Oh my god, guys, I've been talking for 40 minutes. I've gone through 1 year out of 10. This isn't a good sign. I need to speed up a bit. But yeah, so my advice for younger folk, or just any folk really, I just think that it doesn't matter how good your art is, you just have to do art. Like, sorry. But not in the way you think. Not in the, oh, you should practice. I do think that you should practice for things to turn out better. But, like, I mean it more in the fact that I just wish I had more to look back on. Like, I have a lot of art, which I am happy about, because I can do things like this where I redraw it. But like in terms of bigger things like animations and stuff, I wish I did more. The reason I remember this is because those live streams, I might just rewatch them for fun because I had forgotten I did them, and those are things that just seem like fun things to watch. And yeah, so here we have human mix up. Oh my god, my baby. But also 2017, like you can even see it here, that it was a turning point, which okay, it technically can't be a turning point because you know I'd only been drawing for like a year usually back then, but still, I believe this is when I improved the most within a single year because this is how it started, and then this is like where we ended, and I'm gonna talk about this later as well. Like I improved so much in such a short amount of time, and I truly think this is a superpower that only kids have, and I will no longer experience it. But that's the thing, when you get older or better at art over time, I do believe that you just have to find new ways to notice that you are improving because like yeah, I don't my art style hasn't changed a crazy amount, but there are still smaller things that I can notice that I'm getting better at. Like, I don't know, the style, rendering, even like how fast you draw. And this is also one of the reasons why I think that redrawing things is important for your ego. I'm sure it depends on the person, but like, it does let you see that things are changing and you're not like stuck somewhere. Does she have like a stripy pajama? What is this? I don't know what I'm drawing. I'm just giving her something. Because you do improve, even if you think you don't. And yeah. And I gotta stop mentioning things I'm gonna talk about later. Because yeah, 2017 is when I drew so much uh, in 2017. I didn't even know that until I was looking for drawings here, and I kept scrolling and I was like, okay, I must have gotten to 2018 now, right? Now, right? Now, right? I kept going and holy shit, so many files were from 2017 specifically. Like, I don't know what happened. I genuinely think that I have never drawn that much ever. So I think it really was the passion and this like beginning of drawing where I was discovering what it was like. It was like very nice to also see improvement really fast. So I immediately got the adrenaline from seeing something and be like, oh my god, I'm already better at this one thing than I was like 2 months ago. So it probably pushed it a lot, which I guess is kind of ironic that because then that means if I don't improve fast, I have less motivation to improve fast. Yep. If I don't have the visual representation that I am improving, I am less likely to draw more, and thus I'm less likely to actually improve. So that's kind of something that now I have to get over and keep drawing. I think I have gotten over it. I think this was more a problem a couple of years back. Now I'm vibing, man. Unless distraught about art in general. Thank you. I am cracked. That's very nice to say. But yeah, exactly. Like style, because the thing with style is the easiest thing to see as a change. But like that is just not the most important part of art. Like it is important to your identity. That's the thing. I think the reason why you notice style is because one, it's visually more noticeable, but also because it's tied to your identity to some degree. Like there's a lot of like stigma around having different styles because style is what people recognize you by, and so it is tied to who you are as a person. And so if you don't see that changing, you have this automatic assumption that you yourself are not changing. Well, you are because none of this matters. No, but like in a good way. because of the way you're perceived doesn't matter. And that also, I think, accounts for rendering style, which once again, I'll probably talk about later. But yeah, oh my god, how will mix that? It's not her, right? It's true. What I think fits the vibes the best. Guys, this is so weird to talk while drawing. I'm like zoning out, and then I look at my screen and there's a drawing there. But here we have a piece that I actually did with my mouse, and I know specifically that this was made on. Oh, hold on. Sorry, a lamp fell behind me. This was made specifically on Medibang. So Medibang is like a sister program to Fire Alpaca. So they're pretty much, they kind of look the same, but I just think Fire Alpaca is better. So I'm not sure what the difference is. I haven't used Medibang in a while though. So would, I think I, what I would do for a couple pieces when I was getting used to using a laptop was that I would like sketch on my tablet because I was used to it, and then I would transfer it to Medibang on the computer, and I would draw it with the like line tool. I don't even think Firebook has it, but like that's why the lines are so, mathematical. Yeah, no, like you should be allowed to just draw whatever the fuck. It is because little cartoon guys are so fun. Okay, little. That's the thing. I think I'm probably gonna go for a more cartoonish style of expression because I want more of that bounciness and life in my art style. But then, yes, and so as you can see, I have already redrawn this. I think this is like a couple months later. This is 2018 here, but it wasn't like too big of a gap. Let's see, because after this era, I actually got a graphic tablet, and the rest is history. I am quoting something that no one will get, but I know. But anyways, I got my first graphic tablet, which was a Wacom, like without a screen, which I either gave it away or I still have it in a box somewhere. But that was my first graphic tablet, and actually then started using a pen. But before this, we have here, oh my god, this is when I still had the art style, like those eyes especially. I think I found very cute, where I would do this, and they'd have big sparkles in them, and it was very cute. It was ooh. Xenith, you're asking the questions, and they are 2025 question mark. They are coming. The answers are coming. The quick answer is no. But that's spoilers. Don't worry about it. You can watch the VOD later if you don't make it until then. I have a lot to say. I have many things to say. But I really like those little eyes. I did. They're really cute. That's the thing, exactly. So this is what I was saying earlier of like I just found this art style really cute, and I think having an art style with a soul is a lot more important than having an art style that is seen as good by people. I don't know. Or I think just having something with a soul qualifies as good, because this is something I struggle on later on, where it's that I like my there was okay the era of my art that I don't like that much is truly not because it was like technically bad. It was just because I didn't find the soul in it. Like I didn't feel like it had any pizzazz. Just something the heart. It didn't have a heart within it that I like to see in art. And it felt really stiff, and I think stiffness is still a problem that I still struggle with in rendered pieces. Like in sketches, I have gotten better at drawing things that have movement and stuff, but then often when I clean it up into line art, it becomes a bit stiff, and that's probably something that I think one of my biggest things I'm going to work on in 2026 is just trying to give a little life, give a little something to my art that I feel like is missing, or more so that I have in my sketches, but that is missing from my digital art. Look at the baby. Oh, he's so cute. I don't think I ever used these OCs outside of this drawing, but I think it was like dead scissors or something. Lots of glow on this leaf implies that. How would I do this now? Like this? Yeah, sure. That this is what's making. These are a sister and her dead sister. That's all I remember. I don't even know why I remember this, but I remember it. It's a cute design. Now that I'm drawing these, I am realizing that I think I should draw more sketches that just don't mean anything. Because I have been just drawing a lot of things that seem like they mean something. Well, they do, but like when I think of what should I draw, I usually think of like who should I draw or what character should I draw. I so little these days just think like what vibe do I want to draw? Because here's a great example of that like freedom to just do whatever. Because like who are these people? What are they doing? I just know that I wanted to draw a ghost, and I wanted to be kind of angsty. Like that's it. That's all I knew. You know what? I will. You are so right. Seeing if I will. I even I even promise you I will share more to you guys. I can share more of the silly things. I genuinely think I just haven't been drawing that much in. I guess maybe I should take more pictures on my sketchbook because I really have drawn so much more in my sketchbook compared to digitally. Yeah, because something also in relation to how I used to draw is that I just generally have less files for stuff in later years because I think that since I started since I started I want to talk about this. Like I now have this responsibility in the same way as I do when it comes to having to draw characters. I have this like sense that oh my god, I have to draw something that's either fully a sketch or something that is like rendered and I can like post and I can send people and I can like put in my portfolio. Maybe not put in my portfolio, but yeah, something that's postable is usually my goal if I draw digitally. And so I have a lot of less just stupid stuff lying around in my computer that I could share. Yeah, exactly. I think that productivity is something that shouldn't be in our mind when we draw things for ourselves. I think you phrased it really well. Because it is literally just, I feel like I'm not being productive. I'm not drawing an OC, a fandom, even, or like a reference, or like to say like, oh, I'm studying art right now, so it's fine that I'm drawing this thing. That doesn't appeal to a specific person. But yeah, so think about it. Maybe this year I'll try and draw more things that are just things. If I want like specific dynamic, I don't need to force it onto my OCs. Like, sure, if it's fun enough, but if I like struggle to find a way, just draw these characters doing a specific dynamic. No need for anything else. Wow, you're a still life kind of guy, huh? No, but that's fair though. I think a lot of people are like that. Wow, look at the baby. See, if I were to render this, it wouldn't be as expressive. That is like my main concern. Here we can see I drew humans too. genuinely forgot about that. But we can already see the jump because back then, first of all, no shading for like most of them. Shading was not a priority. Like, do we even have shading in the 2016 ones? Yeah, zero shading. Shading is not real. We have now added shading. Look at this. I know, crazy. This is drawn to tablet. We can see here. Oh my god, this is before I knew that clipping was a thing. Guys, I was so mad that I did not know what clipping was because it makes shadows so much easier. Like just having the possibility. This is gonna work. No, okay, fair enough. I was a bit ambitious. Just having the possibility to clip a layer and then things just stayed within. Holy shit, my mind was absolutely blown. But it took I think it took me literally 1 or 2 years to find out that this was a feature, and so I had to try and keep the shadows within manually. So very sad. Literally, this is literally the 50% blurred black shadows. Nothing. We even have the white 50% blurred highlights, and we also have this hair rendering, which sure is a choice. Weird enough, actually, do not like. I don't think I've put effort into rendering hair in like a stripy way rather than a stylized cartoon way in years. Like generally, I just have not done that because I don't see the point. Well, like I see the point, but it's not worth it to me. I should maybe try, but like I don't know. I feel like it's better to stylize it rather. Like it's really hard to make the stripy thing look good. Whoa, we have more flowy hair. I love it. For some reason, flowy hair is so much easier to draw in sketches than in rendered pieces. I feel like in rendered pieces, I'm always like, oh my god, is it gonna like make sense? And is it gonna be good enough? And I fix it while like sketching, and then blah blah blah, and then it ends up like not being as flowy. But like in a sketch, oh my god, you can just go wild. It doesn't have to make any sense. Like look at this, whoa, I'm having some fun with it. Once again, this is another example of an art piece which has zero zero context. These are not OCs. I don't know who these are. I think I just wanted to draw like a cool fight scene, or at least what I perceived as cool. Like that's it. We're going for vibe, and I respect my young self for doing that. I think that's also why I drew so much, because I just drew literally whatever came to mind, and that's a lot easier than having to ponder. I love all discussion in the chat. Keep going, guys. I love this. You're having this is good. I also get some time to not get distracted. No, I'm not blaming you. I love that you guys are here. But yeah, only 2017 year I drew the most. Like this is exactly why I put this here. I'm not gonna redraw it because this is someone else's OC, and I'm not gonna start digging through DeviantArt to find out who that is. But this is a good example of how much my art changed and how quickly. Because like most of the details and like technical qualities aren't that much better between them, but they just straight up look like they're made by two different people. Because yeah, I started like shading, I started adding these little like shiny details. I started using this brush that was like a little bit like had less opacity. This just even here you can see me in shock. This is 10-year-old me being like, what? I have to add the details, of course. Being like, what? What the hell? Because yeah, this is a month difference. What is the big three? Could you refer to which big three? Step 2. Me before and after. Which picture are you referring to? Yes, but 2017. Generally, I should probably count how many pieces I have from that year because holy shit. I keep saying it, but you don't understand. I had to scroll for so long. The mall triangle. Guys, I'm not gonna talk about malls from my country on a live stream. Not gonna do it. I can give opinions later. Anyways, 2018. Also a lot of change. Also a very big amount of change. Generally, it's kind of funny because it starts with an art style that I love. It ends with an art style that I love. But in the middle, it is the art style of mine that I hate the most. I shit you not. I don't know. I don't know if I have to say why I hate it, but I really hate it. Like here, it's not this one. This one's fine. I still dislike it, but fine. This one specifically, if you draw like that, you do you. But for me, I hated this. Like, because if you look at here, I have a style. I have some. It has shape to it. It has form. There's it's sure it's very simple shading, but it's still something interesting. We're not addressing the country humans until later, okay? We have to get there. We have country humans are very thick. But here in this one, there's some substance. It's cute. It's stylized, and then here the hell was I thinking? First of all, I was using this you can see it because I had to crunch it, but I used this pixelized brush and then everything else was pixelized, but I didn't use it in a way that I only used for line art. Like the rest of the insides of it was not pixelated, so it just looks off. And then I really don't like how I did fur like this. Like it just ugh ugh ugh. This is no, you should not be self-deprecating or insult your old art, but I will glaze all 10 years of my art except for this, these 3 months, because that is okay. That's the price. That's the price. I will say this era adorable, cute. Some of the pieces I love them. Generally, they just look good. Like if I zoom in, I can see that how myself back then drew this, but if I zoom out, they just look cute. They're not on here, but trust me. No, but they're not amazing, but I really like them. This one, I haven't even gone into the shadows. I would do a cell shading in black, but then I would add an airbrush gradient inside it. What was I thinking? I couldn't show most of the examples because these are also someone else's OCs, goddamn. But yeesh indeed. But yeah, this was a change. And then we ended with country humans. I do now have to address it. Yeah, that's fair. For this image specifically, it kind of works. But I understand what you're saying. Hi, hello, Queen Lisa. But then it was that I would do the cutesy, here for example, you can kind of see still some remnants of that art style. I would do the cutesy things with the same shadows, and it looks so weird. Thus the angst is real. Ugh, ugh. But then I went through a phase. I went through a country human phase, and I don't know. No, no. I will not bring any fandom drama into this, but I will say, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna redraw Italian. I'm not gonna do it. But I like this art style. Thank you. Exactly. It's like very cute. I really like how I did this, and I genuinely like a lot of the pieces. Like in substance, there's some. I'm not getting into it. However, the art style, I like did this for a couple months where I was in the fandom, and I wouldn't do it for any other, like, for other drawings of cats, I would still use this art style. But like here, I would, for Countryman specifically, I would use this. And think I really liked it. I think that I could have gone in that direction and been more of a no line art kind of person. I just didn't. But like, huh? To do Italia, you can't come to my uni. You can't do it. You can't do it for a bit. Nuh-uh. You cannot make me draw Italia. I'm sorry. You can't. We're saying some things on this live stream. Some controversial things. But yeah, I very much like this art style. And I think the simplicity worked for what it was meant to do. Also, this is just a full scene, I gotta say. I don't think I've done a scene with this many details in it for a long time. Genuinely. Since 2018 apparently. But yeah, generally, I don't think I've done the interior since then. But I think the lineless art style really lends itself to it. Probably should have talked while redrawing, because now I gotta redraw, and I will have less stuff to talk about. But why why did I choose this picture? Because this was actually my banner for a while. This was my YouTube banner. We have an old little mixer. Why are you, Edith, why are you doxing me? Why are you, guys? Don't dox me. I'm not in France. I can say that much. I'm not in France. Not yet. Not yet. But this was my YouTube banner for a while actually. Now I think it's just a gradient. But yes, I did have an actual banner back in the day. Did I upload more back then? I don't remember. I don't think so. I barely ever did I ever really upload on YouTube, let's be honest. Like if we actually, you guys can look back on the history, but no. We almost never. YouTube has always been like this for 10 years. Yes, this is something I forgot to mention on the this version of the live stream. But this is technically also my 10 years on YouTube. I know, right? I haven't uploaded in 3 years, so really it doesn't count. However, I can make it count if I pretend that I want to make it count. But yeah, I don't think this art style. I I think this is kind of, that's the thing. If it wasn't for that era that I complained about, I would say this is when I started like being cleaner with my art, because I don't know, I rarely paid attention to the details before. I would kind of just scribble something on, and then there would be a bunch of pixels left just of like a mess. But then I do think that this is this time was when I like was trying and making sure that every pixel like stayed colored, and I think that for a while I did draw like that. I think this becomes more apparent in 2000. Jump scare. This becomes more apparent in 2019 that I kind of became very clean with my art in a way that I'm not anymore for a multitude of reasons. My god, guys, this is back when Mixa had bandages. Can you believe it? It's okay. There's only 88. I do think 66 million is more accurate. This is her without her bandana, though. Oh my god. I think I gave Mixa her bandana, yeah, this towards the end of 2018. But yeah, I do think this is another year with a lot of change. I think that as we go through this, we're kind of gonna see how like less and less change happens. Because I do think that's kind of how an art journey goes. You start off, but also I do think I just am that kind of artist that I just improved a lot in the beginning, and now I don't improve as much. But I have seen a lot of artists who haven't had that and then feel insecure about it. But I think it's completely fine. Like some people are like 40 and start drawing for the first time, so like, and some people it just takes longer for them to improve, and that's like completely fine. Yeah. I was just on crack cocaine as a child. Like maybe it was just like thousands of files of drawings that really helped me improve quick. Yeah, I don't think I'll arrive in the era in my life where I'll draw as much because just have so much free time as a child. That's kind of also why I wish I had drawn more because I was like I had so much free time. I could have done so much. But yeah, so most of the humans here were we tried to render a bit. It went unsure what I was trying to do there. Oh my god, don't even tell me what makes this dark edgy past. Don't even. Oh, you don't even know half of it, buddy. I mean, I think it's already telling that she has an evil demon version of herself. That should be more than enough. Wait, why did that make her frown? She's smiling. What? She's smiling into drawing. But yeah, even with the eyes, you can see I'm using kind of a. I make her frown again. What the fuck? No, you know what? Fuck it. She's frowning. I'm sorry. This just feels correct. But yeah, I even in my sketches here, I'm using a simplified style. In terms of eyes, everything else is kind of the same as I would usually draw, but I do think that the eyes are a bit simplified compared to what I would do if I was planning on rendering the piece. Which, yeah, I do have this kind of disparity between like how I draw things if I'm not planning on rendering them, and then how I draw them if I am planning. Because they're different for some reason, and I do plan on. Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's that important to make sure that they're the same, but I would like it. It would be nice. Okay, there we go. I think square hair is nice. It's funny. Unsure what her outfit is doing, however. What is this? No, okay. I think it has a collar and it has like a mesh under it. But I think it's better if I just grab a mesh. But also red writing? Question mark. I think I was just testing out the like watercolor brushes on Fire Alpaca for the first time. Because yes, I started my digital art with Medibang, then I moved immediately to Fire Alpaca when I started drawing on my tablet, and I have been drawing in Fire Alpaca ever since. And like 2 years ago. Yeah, exactly. But I do think like it really looks like an open book. You're so correct. No, but literally, I realized that it's sometimes okay to just change and like even if you feel like, especially if you think that you have kind of, oh, it's gonna be, oof, I'm not used to trying country. This is gonna be rough. Like if you feel stuck and you want to not be stuck, because I think it's also fine to just stay stuck. Not even stuck is the wrong word for it, but you think you achieved a place that you're happy with, that's great. If you feel like, oh, I want to do more, but I feel stuck, then I think it's completely fine to just change how you do art, like fundamentally. Because once again, I'll get into more of it later. I need to stop saying that because I will either forget to say. Well, I'll just say it now because there were some points, especially in like 2020 or 2021, I'm not sure, where I felt like, yeah, I'm like happy with how this is, and I'm happy with everything I come up with using this art style. But then I just stopped drawing like that because, and then I found a new way to draw, and I'm trying to be better at it, just because I feel like that way I keep moving and I'm not just like polishing a rock. However, I do believe that the type of polishing is important if you're an industry artist, because it is a lot more important to, well, I'm not speaking from experience, I have no idea, but in that case I do think it's more important to uh, polish things. I guess it also depends on the person, because that's just how I view it. But I mean, I've seen so many artists that just uh, do one thing and they get really good at that thing. But I personally prefer to just get good at multiple things. Not very good at one thing, but good at many things. Just because it makes me feel less insecure about not having what I feel like is a consistent art style, slash, I guess, rendering style is more important. Because then I just feel like instead of thinking, oh my god, I don't have this consistent style, whatever, whatever, oh my god, my art timeline on social media looks not consistent. I just think that, hey, at least I'm just getting better at multiple different things. That's good, right? That's how I've learned to think about it, so I don't worry about things that I feel are useless. You just love the pencil. You're a pencil defender. I'm gonna. I haven't reached the pen I use all the time. Here we can kind of see. Here I think it was the watercolor brush or just a normal one. Here it's like a pixelated version of a normal brush, and here I'm also just using a normal brush. But yeah, I do think Country Humans had. I am not sure what impact it had on my art. I haven't thought about it much, so I couldn't say, but I'm sure it did have some kind of impact. And you know what? Maybe I'll revisit this kind of art style, not for Country Humans, but just in terms of rendering one day. Because also generally, I think that the black and white shadows just look better in this art style than they did in the previous one. But that's 2018. A lot of three different eras somehow within 1 year. But then we move on to 2019. There's some clans. They had to be there. I'm very sorry. But this is really where I pin down like a rendering style. As you can see, it's more about solidifying an art style. Well, okay, these are very different examples, but I think even in the flow of them, you can see that it's more about reinforcing an art style rather than really changing. So I think that when I finally started really working, kind of noticed that I improved a lot less, but not in a bad way. More just that I'm more stable. You know what I'm doing. So I am drawing this without references. So if I get Keith, is that his name? Keith, really? If I get Keith wrong, then do not blame me. But yes, as we can also see, fandom. Genuinely, like after Country, since I guess Country Humans after, like, if we ignore Wirecast, was like one of my more first active fandoms. So, but this is really where I draw, like, I get into like strip art and stuff, and more into like that part of fandom. Because I really just was not into it beforehand. And now I draw mainly fan art as opposed to original content with like OCs or just random stuff, which is a double-edged sword. Like, part of me, of course, feels like it would be nicer to be able to do my own stuff. Also, that I'm not able to do my own stuff. More so that I just don't find the passion for doing my own stuff, which I guess is worse to some degree. But yeah, this is one thing. I will not try and fix it because I think it's kind of hard to fix how you feel about art. think it's doable, but it is kind of hard. So instead, I'll just say I hope that I will find more interest in drawing original stuff. But I think fandom art has its own special little place and is a very interesting way to explore art and yeah, social media. I think here is also the era that I start posting on Instagram actually. I had been posting on Instagram in the previous years, but this is really the year where I become Instagram girly, man. Well, not a crazy amount, but yeah. I made a new account, I think, and I started posting more fandom oriented stuff. So I had more interaction with people on Instagram than I did on DeviantArt. Yeah, I think this is also the year I just fully stopped using DeviantArt. Google Plus had been long dead before then. DeviantArt is a we don't even talk about it. But yeah, and I think it's kind of reflected like my use of Instagram is it is kind of interesting how I can see my art be influenced by where I posted it because I did start being to be more consistent because of social media. Because I was thinking, I gotta be consistent, post on social media, and so and so. We love fan art, but I also started drawing more. I guess I don't know. This is one of the only years where I really drew a lot of rendered like scenes and I had a consistent style. Because in the other ones you could see that I did do rendered scenes, especially in 2017. But when it comes to when now, I guess, or like especially the era that starts from here, I really just did not. I'm more scared of drawing full scenes. I just I think it's I think it's really good to not have a social like once again, it is also a double-edged sword. But I do think it's nice to know that your art is not influenced. It's not that it's a bad thing, but it's just that because my art is so clearly influenced by social media that I do respect and really like find it fascinating when people's art isn't that influenced by it because then it's more like it feels more unique. Once again, not because it's now unique to post on social media, but like you know what I mean. Like yeah, it's special, You're doing your special, but no, but like your art is influenced by other things. It's not by social media. God, this is such a oh my god. Sorry, I just the drawing itself is so 2018. I'll say it. This is 2018 hipster era. Oh my god, this is crazy. I think it's just semi-ironic too, but I think it's cute. This is one of the things also that I rarely draw now, which is characters just existing in a space. Because now it's more about like posing and like how they look cool and whatever. Or like art interactions, just not real life casual things. And I think it's cute. See, this is like this redraw is really about introspection and talking about how things have been. So I feel like how they're better, but also I can learn from my past self. Because this is something a couple months ago I realized I want to do more of, and it is just drawing more casual things. I don't know, characters going to the groceries or having dinner together, just like brushing their teeth. I don't know. It feels nice because, and also because they're things you experience, you kind of have a better idea of how to add a lot of details. Because for other things you kind of need references, but for here you can just be like, he's just fully man spreading. I kind of, he's not even sitting crisscross applesauce anymore. But like, it's so much easier to add so many details without looking at references, because you know that yeah, here he's drinking something, he's on his phone, and he's listening to something, but he's also sitting with someone else. And it's so easy to just draw that and add so many details that make it feel real and alive. Than if it were some like big fantasy fight or something. Not that I even draw big fantasy fights, but yeah, it's fun. These noses suck ass? I will say that. I will say that. But I do like the vibe of this piece. It's cute. Look at them. I'm not gonna draw Lance. God, I haven't said their names in so long. Hello, hi, that cool person. Yeah, exactly. But I do feel like commissions also make art make social media art even more of a thing that affects your art, because now you're like, how do I like the whole business side of it is like, it wrinkles my brain, man, because it's like you gotta think about marketing and your target audiences and stuff like that, and it's like, oh god, oh god. And so it is nice sometimes when you don't have to think about that. So I give him his earphone. Where's his earphone getting? Oh my god, a headphone jack in this economy? Okay. I'm gonna draw these. I don't really have much else to say about 2000. Okay, hold on. Well, that's the thing though. My well, we have some Hermit Draft coming a bit later, but it is something that comes from the fandom. Because genuinely, like, if it wasn't for the fandom, I do not think I could do anything interesting with Minecraft people, because that's just not something that comes naturally. And I have had comments from certain people, no, that say that they can see how my art style is influenced by the fandom I am in, especially Hermitcraft, since I've been in there for so long, or more so longer than any other fandom, like actively. Because yeah, the reason why I'm able to get so high concept with interpretations of the Minecraft people is just because so many other people, like, I see every day, I see such crazy, amazingly beautiful things uh, of people interpreting them, and that just inspires me to do more. But yeah, what I was saying is that I'm so sorry. No, no furries. So sad. It's all it's all Hermitcraft, all of it. But yeah, 2019, simple year. I think I just really solidified. I think even here you can kind of already see this very clean line art. Uh, I was like paying attention to every single pixel. Like, just even here you can see like tiny little details I add. Like, I do think that making clean line art has, or at least was, back then, like the one detailed thing I could pay attention to. Anything else, I just could not care enough to add details. But when it came to clean, crisp line art, like here as well, we get some more rendering too. We can see that I start using some more colors, like move away from the most basic type of shading. And I do think I just had a solid, literally solid, like visually solid art style back then. Then we get to COVID. We get to COVID. This is also my first era. Actually, okay, I did have a couple eras. No, I had, I think, one era a couple years before this where I lost my pen for months and couldn't draw digitally. But like, look, these are OCs. These are these are country humans OCs. Okay, they're just characters. They're not real countries. There is no need no, do not fret. But I did have a couple months, I think, when I was being able to do digital art. But here is really, I think, for like 4 or 6 months, I I forgot my pen, or like I lost it and we had to order a new one, but it took a while to get there. So for a good amount of time, I just did not have a digital pen, and so it was over. I couldn't do anything. So, but however, I did commit, and I did, like, the reason I put him here just because he's silly, but also because I did multiple art pieces, which are all C, so I can't, well, I don't want to put them in here, but like I did multiple pieces where it was just, I would draw something on paper and I would scan it, and then I would, with a multiply tool, I would color them in with my mouse on the computer, and I did it for a while, and I really liked how they looked actually. I think I should do that more in general, because it's very fun and it gives a lot of texture to very simple art that just otherwise like would not be there. So I recommend, this is a very fun way to do something, especially if there's a sketch that you really like and you want to add more color to it. Just digitize it. It's simple. No need for a tablet. No need for too much effort. Just, I mean, this is a free for Alpaca is a free program, guys. I am using the paid version. I'm so sorry. I am using the paid version of Alpaca, but like, it's not a crazy amount of different from the free option. Actually, for a couple weeks, the paid version of Alpaca just did not work, as opposed to the free version. So look at the baby. But yeah, you recognize these? Oh my god, yeah, here, yes, you definitely recognize these. Oh my god, this is, now you're seeing things you've seen before. Now this is no longer archives, but still on Instagram. And this piece here, actually, I'm not gonna redraw it. I just put it in here at the top. First of all, Naruto. Naruto happened because of COVID. Because what other time in your life do you have the time to binge the entirety of Naruto? There we go. But I put this in here because this was made by my with a mouse. By my mouse? No, by me with a mouse. This was, yeah. But the thing is, with doing it with a mouse, I had to be really, really clean about it. And I think that this insistence on, what I mean by clean, I mean like literally when I would do pieces and then I would be coloring in, I would be zooming in and coloring in any like row pixel I saw. And I actually did this for years. I only stopped at some point when I realized that, first of all, it doesn't matter, but also just took so much effort. So much effort. You remember the mermaid guy? That's crazy. But yeah, this was done with my mouse. Yes. And I think it shows a very strong shift towards this clean art style that I had. We can also see some of it. This one's a bit less clean because I used a more textured brush. But this was November, and I just put it in here because this one I'm not even redrawing. Holy, I banged. I did so good. Oh my god. I don't care what anyone thinks of this piece. Like, her body isn't that good. But if I zoom in here, she looks so good. Hello? She looks amazing. Like, I I don't know. I think this is peak. I think this is the peak I could have done with this art style. And I will not stand back. I will acknowledge this with my whole chest. But yeah, this is also, as you can notice, here we have a nose, and here, very weirdly enough, there is no nose. Now, why is that? This is because I was struggling to draw noses. And then I realized this very important thing, very fundamental understanding that I did not have of art that I realized in 2020. It's that it doesn't matter. Yep, nothing matters. But I say that it's that one meme, nihilism, the fun way and the sad way. But yeah, I realized that you can just do whatever you want, and I was just struggling to draw noses, and I was failing to draw noses, so I just stopped drawing them. And then at some point I started drawing them again. Yep, it's as simple as that. Like nothing deeper to it. And I think, I mean, it's an art. See, it just feels like an art style choice. So it did not matter. And I think a lot of pieces like still look completely fine, even though they were literally missing a nose. Well, I did do this like weird straight line thing, but like I said, it makes it feel stylized. It makes it feel special and unique. And so, yep, you just don't have to do things. Yeah, exactly. Like compulsively cleaning line art is just not it. Like I get it, but if you notice that it just takes you time and effort and just meant you like if you're able if you like if you're the type of person that compulsively cleans up line art, I just recommend you to at least try one little piece where you do not clean your line art up at all. You just try, or like not in a crazy insane way, and then just see genuinely like open your heart up and listen to it and look at your art and tell me if there's a big difference or not. It's fine if you see a difference and then you're like, yeah, I still think it's fine. But if you feel that you're less tired and that you're still just as proud with less effort in, there's no need to put in that effort. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes the effort is not worth it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, yes, everything that takes higher effort looks better. Wrong. That's the thing you need to learn about art. But I think that's also something that I get better at with time is doing things with less effort. Exactly. Oh my god. Did you steal my noses? Did you take away? I stopped and then you started? That's crazy. But then, yeah, that's also, like I mentioned before with redraws. The reason why I like them is because they take less effort and they look better, which is a great feeling to have. And so that's also one of those things that you can improve at, even if you feel like you're not improving. It's just putting in less effort for something. And it doesn't need to look better objectively to other people, just it needs to look better to you. You need to have more fun with it. You need to think that it looks better. Whoops, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Also, this is JoJo's fan art, but they don't need to know that. No one needs to know that. Why am I telling you? I don't know. Where's his hand going? But yeah, here we can also see I start using experimenting more with brushes because as you can see, like in 2019, no brushes other than the most normal brush you can have were used for line art. Here I realized that I can get a bit more creative about that. And some water. I am halfway through though, so yeah. I don't think 2020 was a monumental year for me, especially because I just couldn't. I think I just drew more in sketchbooks, but I still did not have like a specific sketchbook that I used. But I did just draw, and I was content with what I was drawing. Like, I don't think I had any like major art block. I haven't really mentioned the times I've had art block, but trust me, over the years I've had many like multi-month periods where I had art block. Anyways, oh my god, guys, 2021. Not a crazy year either. This is truly my floating years. Like, just. But I am stepping away from that solid art style. I'm yeah. The solid art style comes back later, but here we have some examples where I don't have it. We have this, which took me a lot of effort, and we can see that I've gotten a bit better at rendering. But I included, this is one I meant by with the OC that I had to include. This is someone's art fight OC, but then this was drawn with an airbrush. Because I am petty, and I kept hearing people say, don't draw with an airbrush, which I understand why the advice is there. But then I decided to draw pieces fully with an airbrush. The line art here is done with an airbrush, and I shit you not, I do not know what settings I use for that, because I have not, well, I haven't really tried to recreate it, but like, I have not been able to find what airbrush I used for this line art. I just think it's impressive. I just think it's silly. I did like, oh my god. Oh my god, has art fight change your life? I'm so happy. But yes, welcome to art fight. Art fight. When did I start it? Actually, well, no, actually, wait, have I been doing it this whole time? I think this was the first year I did art. No, wait. I think it was this one or this. No, it was either 2000. No, it was 2018. I started art fight in 2018. I don't think I have any. Yeah, I don't have any. Of course, I don't have any art fight pieces included. But art fight is very important. Art fight is also the thing that makes me okay with experimenting with art styles. Like, if you wonder, and like, even if on Tumblr it might seem like Tumblr is the only social media I use. If it seems like, well, and the style is like kind of consistent, like it's not like crazy inconsistent. If you want to see every like shit I can do, bro, art fight. Literally this year, my goal was that I was just not allowed to have two pieces with the same art style, just because I like having fun and I like not limiting myself. And I do kind of, like, genuinely, I do kind of just get bored by doing the same rendering style. Like, I don't know. I should probably figure this out before talking about it. But I don't know, just a part of me doesn't let myself do the same thing many times. Hello! Hello, Lemon! Hi! Welcome! We're up to 2021! And I was talking about not having a consistent art style. Because I feel like, generally, okay, the thing with rendering is that I sometimes just forget how I render. Like, yes, welcome. I mean, I'm only halfway through, there's still many years left. But, what the hell was I talking about? Yes, art styles. I sometimes, no, I think every single time I have recently rendered, I pull out, like, another drawing just to see, like, how do I render, what do I do, how do I do it. Because this era, like, since 2019, and I guess up until 2022, was the era where I had a very consistent rendering style that I went back to whenever I was actually doing something that I considered to be an important piece. Thank you. See, sometimes you just forget. And I found it very funny because then you always think, how did I do it the first time? But don't worry about the first time. This just is not things to worry about. Do I use onions? No, I'm gonna use this all the time. The reason I also included onion here is because, guys, OCs, this is when 2021 is, I think, the year where I solidified my main OCs that I have nowadays. And it's also the year I have like reference for them. I started like thinking about their story more, and now they're just in my brain. They don't develop very fast because I don't think about them too often, but they are always there. They're staring. They're looking. But we have the Onion reboot. I think his first year being drawn like this. He barely looked like anything. He looked very different. But I literally had drawn him like 2 or 3 times before this time. It was for Pride Month for some reason. I literally don't remember why I drew these. There's a partner piece to this piece with math done. But yeah, sometimes you just don't need to be consistent, and that is what one of the lessons we have to learn. Because yeah, I think this is still the era where he was much fluffier than he was, but this is still around the time that I was posting on Instagram. A bit less because most of these weren't posted on Instagram. This is, I think, when I kind of start moving away from it a bit. And you can once again, I think this is why this looks a lot less consistent than the previous pieces. But then, yeah, I don't know, nothing monumental about 2021 in terms of art. I don't know what the bottom of his design looks like. We're just gonna add. Oh, I think they're pants. Whoops, doesn't matter. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that came out of it is just my OCs. They became solid. And also the introduction to the fluffy brush. You can barely tell, it's very subtle. But oh my god, I have been using it for years. This year, guys, it's been 5 years since I used it. It is, I think, my go-to lineup brush. I don't know why. This brush, this is my soulmate. I don't care. Do I even draw with it nowadays that much? Not really. But I know deep in my heart that this is the one true love that I had, and I will never have it again. I use it here, I use it here. Like, the ones, now we're gonna move on to 2020. I use it everywhere whenever I need to do something consistent. And here, I'm probably not gonna redraw this one, but this is, I think, kind of when I peaked with the art style that I had going at the time. Like, I finally learned how to do better shadows. Oops, I'm wrong. Oh, fuck it, we're not out of time now. But like, this is kind of when I started understanding how to render things like close and fold. I think fold especially became very important. And I just was able to draw things with this thin line art with a this thin line art with a fluffy brush. And as you can see, it's not very clean either, but I was able to draw something sketchy that still, like, looked good. And so this is when I started experimenting. Because I don't know, this is the moment that I mentioned earlier where I felt like I was kind of stuck in it, I guess. I felt like I had done whatever I needed to do with this art style and I just couldn't, like, do better. Like, really, I don't think I can do better. Like, even now, if I were to draw like this again, it would just be, like, slightly different. But, I don't know, the art style fit the rendering style. The rendering style fit what I wanted at the time. But then I downloaded... Nope. Since I'd been using Fire Alpaca this whole time, I downloaded it. I can't fucking say it. I've been talking for 2 hours, man. I downloaded Clip Studio Paint, which was on sale, and that's why I bought it, and I downloaded it, and I have not used it since 2021. No, 2022. Like, oops. Okay, I understand what you mean by saying that it's not extremely clean. That's the thing. That's why I think it was peak, because it managed to look like, genuinely. Until I zoomed in while talking, I personally did not even realize it was a sketch line art, but this is, because if you really think about it, this is technically like sketchy, but this is sketchy compared to, okay, maybe like this specifically, where every single pixel was in its place, This is what I mean by messy. Messy compared to this. Now I'm still a bit more messy. But once again, I guess I'm comparing myself to my like 2020 self as opposed to you, Zenith. But yeah, so I had Quick Studio Paint and I used it for like a couple months. Well, no, I still use it into 2023, but I think 2023 I stopped using it and I just went back to Far Alpaca. I don't know. It's like I guess I'm just used to it, but I feel like it's also simple enough that I just don't get distracted by other things. And I do think that the brushes did help me to some degree. Like there's some pieces in 2023 which were completely carried by the brushes I was using. The brushes I was using. Yeah, that's correct. But I I preferred having Farapaka where it's easier and I can concentrate on my art style rather than my rendering. Because like I said, well actually, yeah. With rendering I had fun on Clip Studio Paint, but with my art style I was still stuck. And I use this brush a lot in a lot of my pieces, which looking back it looked kinda ass. I don't know why I was so obsessed with using it. It just wasn't that good. But yeah, for Alpaca just has my heart, and I really should maybe move on because there are some cool things I can do in Clip Studio Paint. But I've seen a lot of like professional artists that still use multiple programs, so maybe I should just get used to doing that. Not 2026. This is not one of my goals. The other goals I have mentioned are my goals. This one, not my priority. I'm okay with the paid version of Alpaca. I know I'm one of the like 13 people who has paid for a Fire book. But I feel like also before I bought it in like 2024, I think. So I had been using it for like 8 years, and it's like I might as well repay them the favor. Like I gotta pay a program that I could use for free because I respect them and I like them. And so far they haven't done anything horrible, which is quite the gold star for things. I mean, well, but yeah, this is not a good piece, but I just a good example of how I started using a lot of different textures and brushes because I just got Clip Studio Paint and I was playing with my little toy and having fun with it. Also, the year that I looked at the tutorial, which I really recommend. Um, I cannot name it right now to save my life, but it is about. I think if you look up hyperpop and art, you might find it. But it is about how to use really bright colors in your art, and it's really good at explaining how different colors have different hues, which I'm not gonna explain right now. But it gave me the inspiration to try and go crazy with colors, and I have done a couple pieces that are really vibrant like that. Not recently, but I have. And even though it didn't impact my art style in a consistent way, I do believe that this is kind of what inspired me to later be comfortable with experimenting with color. So this is a big turning point, I think. Because, yeah, it made me realize that if I already feel like I'm good enough at shading, and I already felt like my line art I didn't have any problems with my line art, then color was the next step, the next thing to conquer. And this, I think, this piece, I think still looks really good. Like, now I can see it's this one. Yeah. It was good, man. It was a good piece. But, like, this is I believe, because I love being poetic about things that aren't poetic, this really was a piece that was a good build up and a good final piece to say goodbye to this really clean art style, which was the fluffy brush, really thin, and then using like a blur and airbrush for shadows. But I still really do like this piece, and I don't think I could do it in a way that would give the same energy as this in my current art style. So it's a product of its time. It's a time capsule. Yes, exactly. It's such a good tutorial. I think they did a like part 2 as well. Yeah, exactly. Like, cause color isn't something. I think now it's brought up more, but I think back a couple of years ago, color really wasn't mentioned as something important in art, especially back when. Oh my god, color picking references, it was so funny. Like having OC references where you have like the color palette and then people would get mad at each other if they didn't use the exact color palette of their OCs. I'm glad we moved past that because that really was something. So yeah, I think most of my pieces back then were really just like I was just picking colors from other things. Thank you, Zenith. But yeah, I think this was a good send off to that art style because I think then, yeah, 2023, I move on. 2023, I start experimenting. No more clean, consistent art style. Only for like a couple pieces, like commissions for you. Because I think were like the only times I would use this like clean art style. But otherwise, boom, 2023. Looking back on it, first of all, first piece of the year, I could never read. I could never do this again. This is one of the things I mentioned where my, like, the brushes, we are getting into blazing territory. We're getting the territory where I'm just going to talk about how good my art was. But, like, I think it's important. But even then, I have mentioned, like, some of the old things I've done were really cute as well. And I think it's important to be happy with what you've done. Like, this is a thing where the brushes carry because I understand the argument that brushes don't matter, but I think brushes don't matter for your improvement, but to make things look good, brushes do do a lot because this just would not look as good. I do you are seeing it like 5 pixels. Like this just would not look as good if it wasn't for the brushes. But that is also one of the reasons I think I moved away from Clip Studio and back to Fire Alpaca. I don't know how to pronounce it, but like one of those reasons that I moved from Clip Studio is because I felt an over reliance to brushes as opposed to my art style. And I think that once I'm comfortable with my art style again, I will try and experiment more with brushes. Might even do it this year. But like I did have for a while, and even now sometimes, this feeling that I'm making my life too easy and I have to make it harder, which I know isn't a great position to put yourself in, but I still think it did help me because I put myself in positions where I, like for example, I sketch in my sketchbook with a pen because then I don't overthink the lines and I just force myself to draw something confidently, even if I think it looks bad, and instead of trying to fix it, I just draw something again until it looks like I want it to look. And those are like tough positions you can put yourself in to improve, but you don't have to if that's stressful. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But yeah, I think this is one of the reasons why I moved away from Book Studio. Too easy. And you guys do have to play Disco Elysium. I'm sorry it crashed. The game takes so much out of your computer. It's crazy. Generally, did I play it on this laptop? Because I'm using my old laptop right now because my newer laptop is having some issues. But I think it barely ran Disco Elysium. It did a little, but it was a hard time. Lowest graphics, of course. We have some, but more Disco Elysium. Your laptop just did not consent to Disco Elysium. But I think that's okay. Sometime, maybe later in your life, maybe your laptop knows that you have to play it at another point in your life. But the reason I have this here is because I'm not going to redraw a rendered piece because it's not. This truly isn't about art style. It is about rendering and the effects and the brush. However, I wanted to show here a piece I did like a couple days apart. I hate how hairy it turned out. I hate how this one looked. I had just done this and I was like, oh my god, and then I did this drawing and I like Kim looks fine. Like I think he looks cute and whatever, but like I was so mad. I could not draw Harry the way I wanted him to draw just because I don't think my art style like landed itself. to drawing him. And so we're gonna try and redraw it now and see whether I can fix this. But this the reason I wanted to include this is because I wanted to show that sometimes you're not good at everything. Sometimes no, but failure or no, but the reason I wanted to show this is because you see good pieces. You see people's good pieces more than you see their bad pieces. Because otherwise they're embarrassed and they don't, oh my god, I might not be able to try. Maybe I haven't learned everything. I'm still not able to draw fucking Harry from this Elysium. But like, you see only the best, and so like if I showed, oh my god, if I showed this, it'd be like, oh my god, and then it showed this, it'd be like, oh okay, we're gonna move on from that. And so yeah, there's still things we can improve on, because I couldn't improve on this piece, but I definitely could do this better than I could like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, I guess. Just because there's always something for you to improve on, and that's not a bad thing. That just means that you can have fun and you're never going, how the fuck, dude? I think I'm able to draw him, but not in a way that makes sense with Mars, so oh well, still better than nothing. I really don't draw beards, god. Mamma mia. But you are never going to be perfect, and I think that's amazing. That is the fun. What is the saying? The special spice of life. There's no way that's the saying. But that's what makes it all interesting. Wow, look at that. Harry, I keep trying to say Harry Styles. This is not Harry Styles. But Harry Dubois is now in my art style. And he looks great. And I think that's amazing. It means I have gotten better. And this is this is what redrawing is for, guys. However, I do think that sometimes you're gonna redraw something and it's not gonna look better than back then. And in those cases, I don't know what to tell you. Because it hasn't happened. No, I'm kidding. Has that happened to me? I don't know if it has or not. But I don't think it has. I think it hasn't just because I always see something good in what I've redrawn. Harry Styles experience Draghi. Now that's my favorite. That's my favorite ship. This is the ship they don't want you to talk about. They don't want you to know. Oh my god. You gotta start doing edits. But then this is something I also learned to think about for when it comes to seeing other people's art, is that as opposed, this is kind of mean, but speaking from my deepest parts of my soul, but especially as a kid, now I do it a bit less, but like I would see art and I would be like, this sucks. I would like look at something and I would be like, this is just kind of bad. But then I've kind of conditioned myself to instead see value in whatever I would immediately dislike because it's just not my style, or just not something that I'm interested in, and I like try and see value in it. There's two things that I tell myself. One is that there's always something that they're doing better, and that also goes for when you see art that seems like it's so much better than yours. Is that there's always a balance to it. So if I saw art that was much worse than what I was used to looking at, then I would just be like, they're doing this well, and they're doing this well. But same thing, if I saw something that I felt like was so much better than like my art, and I could like never compare to them, I would just think of like, okay, but I think that I can do something more varied, or I can I am a bit better at better examples. Okay, maybe they draw only in black and white, and I can think like, okay, maybe I'm more practiced when it comes to coloring. Okay, I'm realizing right now this sounds. I know comparing yourself to other artists is bad. However, it's really hard not to do it. We like a lot of people do it, and so this is kind of a way that I manage my thoughts so I don't lose my mind when I see art online and let it influence how I perceive my own art. But being a hater is fun. But like the thing is, if you're a hater of other people, you're also gonna be a hater of yourself. No, okay, no, I respect being a hater. When it comes to looking at other people's art, I still try to be productive about like how I think about it, just because I can feel that the ways I judge them, I will also judge my art, and especially then if you compare your art to your past art. And so I kind of use the same techniques that I use to see other people's art to not judge mine and see that all of this has a value. And okay, and then second point, which I forgot to mention, is that the first one is thinking that there are so many aspects when it comes to art, so many. Posing, perspective, colors, line art, like values, shading, lighting, rendering, backgrounds, like all of that. It's kind of hard to make people like perfectly compare to ourselves due to that. But then the second thing that I tell myself, especially lately, is just they did something. That's the thing. Just they did something. Like I mentioned earlier also that this is what I want to do more, is I just want to do more of things, regardless of how much I might think that it's bad or how much I'm disappointed in it or whatever. I just want to make things because it's better to make something that you're not that happy with than just like worry about how well you're going to do and end up not doing anything. Yeah, exactly. Any mistakes is a good way to ground other people's art. Because it's so easy to somehow look at everyone else and think like they're all so much better and I'm the only one who sucks. Because that's just not. You can learn from them, not only just by putting yourself down, but by putting them down. No. There's so many layers to this. Also, it's just hard to control your thoughts, let's be honest. If you love hating for the love of a game, that's fair, that's fair. I mean, hating for the love of a game, especially if it's like commercial art. Like, if it's some random person, okay, it depends. But if it's some random person on the internet who's just like really happy-go-lucky and showing something, being a hater feels kind of mean. But like, if it's commercial art or like some truly random person, whatever. But then yeah, the philosophy of just doing something, like if I just look at something and I'm like, why is this like I think, okay, why is this popular? It's not that amazing. I could do something like that. Boom. But you didn't. But you didn't. This is exactly the same. I mean, this is kind of the same argument for people who critique, like modern art and stuff. It's like, well, you could just do it. Sorry, you didn't. Like, especially if I think I have this most with backgrounds and animations because those are two very hard things to do. But like both of them, I think, man, I am able to do them. I just don't. And so I don't get better, and so I'm not more confident in doing them. So I just need to start doing something. For the love of God, just gotta pick up a pencil and draw. Whoa, Mixa, I love this image. Horrors are endless, but I stay silly. She's truly the queen. But now, Hermitcraft happens. Hermitcraft happens. This is the first year I get into Hermitcraft. Gasp. They probably changed the trajectory of my art and internet usage forever. What can I even say? Where can I even start? This is when I start using Tumblr actively. Move up with long gone are eras of Google Plus and DeviantArt and Amino. I didn't even mention Amino, but Amino was a thing. And Instagram. Now we are in the, we're in the Hermitcraft era on Tumblr. I don't think I would be able to phrase everything Hermitcraft did because there's so much to say about fandom, about internet relations, about posting online, about art, about design, everything. There's so much to say. What I will say is that it has given me, once again, double-edged sword. It has given me like more motivation to do art, especially when I was more into it. Now it gives me more motivation in the fact that I need people to know I'm alive, and I need the Tumblr likes, and I know it's not healthy, and I'm trying to move on from it, but I need my little dose of adrenaline, and it's very embarrassing because other people are like, yeah, I need my Instagram likes. I'm like, I need my Tumblr refund. I need the notifications on fucking Tumblr from drawing Minecraft people kissing each other, and I don't, man. Man, it's something else. But yeah, so now I'm not as much into Hermit. I don't really watch it right now. I'm watching, like, for example, I'm rewatching Community right now more so. And I had a lot of other fandom times, but like, uh, for real. It's perfect Murder that you're here for this right now because you know. But like with fandom is amazing and so loving, and I feel like that's the closest I've gotten to the DeviantArt days, um, since DeviantArt, and so I don't want to lose it, but also there is a part of me that feels like I'm forced to perform and keep doing art of these silly little characters. Not that I don't love them, just like sometimes I just don't care that much about what's happening, and I feel like I have to because that's what my entire Tumblr dash looks like. Truly, I need numbers to go up. But then they do have a special place in my heart, and I don't know where I will go in the future with this. This is that I still do draw things that I like as opposed to things that I think other people will like. But like I have less motivation to finish those and render them to a level that I'm fine with posting them. But this is where it started. We have first eFubs art, which is the ship that I have drawn more than anything else in my life, honestly. I unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. Posting anything else, I don't know. Thankfully, it's not. I have gotten over the fear, but I understand it so hard. It's because I did used to have that fear because on Instagram especially, like thankfully on Tumblr, so like maybe you'll have like your friends and your mutuals who like maybe like a little OC thing you do, but like on Instagram it was fucking you could hear crows and like tumbleweed with the wind going when you posted anything that the algorithm wasn't into. So like that is when I managed to kill that fear within me to post it, but there's still, you know, a part of me still doesn't get that little motivation to do more of the other things just because there's no incentive to do it, which is a little sad. And it is one of those like impacts that social media has had, that I do less art. That yeah, exactly. I think we've talked about this before. So, Instagram sucks ass. It was so bad. That's why I left. Cause like, first of all, I left because they were starting to implement some things about like art and stuff. But also, I was scrolling it too much, and also the like Tumblr has made me motivated to draw certain things, but it hasn't. like demotivated me to draw other things. It's more just that one is more motivating than the other. Instagram killed parts of me. Like it was not good. Like I remember having bad times on there. That's why I think I restarted my account like multiple times because I felt like I was stagnating. It was not it. Truly, uninstalling Instagram is such a good decision. Whoever regrets it? That's what I need to know. Whoever goes, oh man, no one, no same person. No, like I cannot draw this hand. Oh my god, I was gonna make fun of this hand that I drew, but honestly, this is the best I could have done. What the fuck? I'm gonna leave this because it looks good enough. But yeah, also like looking back on 2023, I was on crack cocaine. I do not know what they were putting in my food. I do not know like what was happening because I look back and there are like so many pieces that I just absolutely adore. Like they just have personality to them. They have like funny rendering, like fun rendering, not funny rendering. It's like amazing, and I'm really proud of a lot of pieces from 2023. I also drew quite a lot, which I think was a mix of that art fight. I drew 33 pieces. I did draw 29 this year, except the pieces I drew in 2023 were so rendered, and it was crazy. 33? 33? Never again. I do not know, but I genuinely, that's also has made me think, because I like wondered like what really happened. And I realized that 2023 was a year I was quite happy just in life in general. And so I do think that that is reflected in art because no matter how much I try to think that it isn't related, I do think I just draw better and have more fun with drawing when I'm content with other things in my life. And so unfortunately sometimes there is these loops where I get art block because I'm sad, and so I am art blocked, and so I'm sad because I'm not drawing, and so I'm more art blocked. And then, but then something else in life needs to happen for me to get out of that loop, and then I'm out and everything's chill and whatever. But yeah, those times, because those times where you're like happy with stuff and you have art block are fine, but like those times you're not happy with life and you have art block, mamma mia. Oh, thank you. That is not the life to live. But yeah, I'm really proud of my 2023 self in terms of art. But I'm also not jealous of her, which is good. Because I feel like there were some times where I would have been jealous. But I think now I'm just happy for her. I'm just like, good thing that she got to experience this. I got some cute little art out of it. And this is not to say that I was like an art god or something, because like as you can see, like this piece, like it's cute, but like I can see a lot of ways I can do it better. These ones as well. But like other ones, I don't know how I could improve them. So it really was like low lows, but not in a sad way, but just in a I couldn't draw better back then way. But then really high highs. Just a very fun year in general of stuff. And I think also the how do I phrase this? The year that right before I started like not stagnating, but I no longer changed my art style that much. I think the biggest change I've had recently is generally just eyes, because I just see just as I gave up on noses, I gave up on eyes. Not in the like I just draw don't unlike the noses, I still draw eyes, but like I realized once again that it doesn't matter, and so I just started drawing eyes in a way that just felt like I could be more expressive of them rather than something very structured. Because now we move on to 2024. This is the year I think where it's more like this, and 2025 I did not even try, but this was a year that was like really hard to find things to like redraw because I haven't like improved in terms of art style that much. And when I'm sketching here, it's kind of hard to show anything other than art style. So I just have pieces where, I don't know, I think there's some things I could have improved, or like I can improve now. Like for example, we have another, this is the same thing as the Kim Kitsuragi piece earlier, but then this is another piece where the piece, gorgeous, amazing, could not do better. Also, the year that I discovered the chopstick pen, where are you? I can't find it, damn it. But it's a brush that I still use a lot when drawing digitally. It's kind of become a crutch for me. I need to move away from it, but you know, it's a toxic love. But then we once again have like a piece that's really good, and then if I just had this, I would be like, man, I am not that much better than I was back then. You know, this, like, I could not do better than this. However, this was meant to have a partner piece, and as we can see, it was not turning out as well as that one. And once again, the lesson is that sometimes things just don't work out. That's okay. And so you really do improve over time. Why? What lessons am I giving? Who? But also, I just remembered there was something I forgot to mention. Oh my god. Wait, we're going back. We're going back into the trenches. 2018. I forgot to mention that my canvases were huge. What the fuck was I doing? Like, this piece here, you know, nothing crazy, whatever. This was 8,000 by 4,000 pixels. What? Why was it so big? Anyone who doesn't, like, isn't sure what size they should make their canvases, they sure as hell should not be 8,000 by 4,000 pixels. That is too many pixels. That makes the file ginormous. That makes it any old laptop want to kill itself. And I don't know what I was thinking. This is truly I don't know, like, at the end of the year I understood that I should not have pixel sizes close to 10,000. But it took me a while to understand that. This canvas is actually that I'm using right now is 3,000 by 4,000, which is actually like still really big, but I just had it big because I have a lot of things on here. But usually 2,000 by 2,000 is what I start with. My god, yes. Bye bye, Xenif. Good night. Good luck with exams. I shall tell you if something cool happens. But then, yes, come back here. I totally have forgotten that I had to mention it because I have to shame my old self because what the hell was it doing? No, literally, how did my program manage? My program did not manage. I genuinely think it was just lagging, and I just, instead of zooming in and moving around, because it was, I think back when I did not have a screen tablet, so I wouldn't really move that much. So I think I just kept it in one place and then did everything from there. Because when I moved, mamma mia, the lag. Just don't do that. Why? Why would anyone? I see some people like finding out that this is way too high of a resolution, like years into drawing, and it's so funny to me because like I learned this from an early age by flying too close to the sun, and I learned what you should not do. But yeah, how do I draw his eye? See, just an angle I haven't gotten used to with the way I draw eyes right now. But yes, 2024, nothing crazy. I think just a lot. This is truly the year. Like almost everything I drew was just for Tumblr. This is my male gaze. Who I have hermit blur. Saying that out loud hurts. I had the hermit Tumblr gaze. That's what I pandered to the masses, and that is okay. I did some beautiful art, and I did improve. Like in terms of rendering, especially, I think is what I improved the most at. His face is looking whoa, wow, but it's okay. See, this is one of those redraws. We're maybe running out of steam here, but that's okay. I really, really have to learn how to draw beards. Like, I do not know how to draw them. But I think that fandom is both good and bad. This is too much nuance to get into while improvising all of this. But yeah, like I said, I've had people mention that they could tell how the fandom I was in influenced my art style. And I think that's true. I think I one day might think about it more, might talk about it more. Right now, we're still in it. I feel like it's still too close to really like reflect on. But it's a very interesting phenomenon to see, which is once again why I find it very fascinating to see how people's art improves outside of fandom, because this is how I've been improving my art for such a long time that I truly just don't know how else to exist, I guess, in terms of art. I think this year also, which is why I included the sketch here, is a year where I finally started like really having a sketchbook. I know that a lot of artists have always had they number their sketchbooks and stuff. I have never had that for like such a long time. Well, like the closest things I had that to sketchbooks was like just random notebooks I owned that I sometimes like walked around with for 3 months and then dropped them. I didn't like consider them sketchbooks. I just considered them something where I could sometimes draw in. And yeah, 2023 is where I started a sketchbook, and 2024 is when I finished my favorite sketchbook ever. But not just because, of course, well, it's recent, so the art is better. But like, I just like it because of how much fun I had with it. This is also why I have just left digital artists, because I just had fun drawing in a sketchbook, and it really helped me, I think, develop my art style, and I kept doing that into 2025 as well. So I kind of just concentrated on drawing there, and so I would render pieces in a different art style digitally, and then I would improve in other ways in my sketchbook. Now, sketchbook tour when? Oh, that's the thing. I would like it would be really fun because I love talking about my sketchbook, but like I am a little scared because I like my sketchbooks are so personal to me, like especially because they're new. Like I think in a couple years when I've had, my fair share of sketchbooks and like whatever, I'd be like fine doing it, but like right now I've literally had only I guess 3 sketchbooks that I'm really proud of and I actually like put effort in and stuff. They still feel really fresh. And I'm not, I'm too shy. No, but like I have a lot of personal stuff in there. I have a lot. I'm not. My sketchbooks aren't amazing looking. It's just that now I have fun with them, so I see the fun in them regardless of how good the art in it looks. And so when showing it, it would be kind of hard because I have so many like personal stories related to the tiniest little doodles that are on the sketchbooks. Like generally, I think I've sat down some people and like walked like IRL people and like showed them every page of it, but like just like vent art and just stuff for someone else and things that are related to a very specific thing that happened, which would be kind of hard to talk about on camera because then I would have to like censor that and then it just wouldn't feel as honest. So also I think I might do them in a couple years also just because then it will be less recent and I would be fine talking about it because I would have like thought everything through. Not that they're crazy personal, but I do really love talking about my sketchbook, so I might talk too much. But yeah, like the reasons why I said I had more fun with them is because I discovered that you can add color. I know, crazy revelation that came to me. You can add colors without just literally coloring your sketches. Because I got marker. I started using like really cheap, just random markers that I had lying around from middle school, and I just started using them. Not like alcohol markers, just normal. Are they just normal markers, right? But then I started using them, and they're so fun to sketch with and just add colors in, regardless of how shit it looks. And I got like these cheap water markers for my birthday, and then I started using them here. And truly, you can see in my sketchbook from the, even when you close it, in the edges, you can see the final few like dozen pages where I started using color. And I think it adds so much personality to sketchbooks. Like genuinely, it makes flipping through them so much more fun. Even flipping through them and then coloring in like old things is just so fun. And I really prefer just coloring in whatever way you want, rather than, oh, gotta color in this specific orange because that is what they have in their reference and whatever. Just doing what we can see some Cookie Run Kingdom peeking here, and some Conclave too. But yeah, just started having more fun with my sketchbook, and so the digital art was kind of left to the side. Whoops, I guess. But then that means that I would have long periods of time I didn't draw digitally, where I still had something in my sketchbook to have fun with, instead of just not drawing and then being like, man, I didn't draw anything. God, I cannot draw these. But what? It's too taxing. That's fair. But like that's why I doodle with color as well. So like then it still feels different, even if it's the exact same thing. Also, like if I want to sketch something with a pencil, sometimes I'll just do it with a colored pencil instead. Crazy. If I want to do like something with lines, I just do it with colored lines. Boom. Magic. It already looks more fun. But also everyone does it. Like genuinely, if show me two sketchbooks that look different, you can't. Like they all look completely different. Oh, this is the tips. Thank you. This is why I'm here. I'm here to give out. After 10 years, you gotta have something that I learned. No, but yeah, this is another piece. This is a piece I already redrew. Here we have the alcohol marker. I really don't like alcohol markers. This is the reason why. Because okay, I did have some few colors in my old sketchbooks. However, they were like alcohol markers, and I don't like them because I know some people really like them. I mean, I don't think he's here anymore, but uh, a friend of mine like has on the mud on the contrary has discovered that he loves alcohol markers and has a lot of fun with them. Personally, they're what kind of held me back because I kind of viewed them as the like peak coloring because that's how I colored as a child, and I would like use them and I would be like, oh, I have to be so clean about it, and like it's so much effort, really. Exactly. They kind of suck. They're very specific. Like you have to want to do a very specific type of art to be able to use alcohol markers. They're just ugh. They don't have like I don't know. I probably just also haven't experimented that much. Like I remember just using them as a child, but then even now, there's so many other ways to color that I prefer. It's more fun too, less effort, more fun. Like looks better even. Because this is like since it kind of made sense for me to use them back when I was a very like clean, proper artist, but now that I've learned to loosen up, not it. That's not the vibe. Okay, how the hell do I draw his hair? Exactly. Oh, like it's truly like most problems you have them. Someone could be like, oh well, you just have to get better at them, but it's like still, uh, like sure you could technically mix, but like it's so hard. And yeah, because the color that comes up with them turns out so solid. It's like you have to have the exact color. Huh? Oh, I was recording? What the fuck? Oh my god, turns out OBS is recording my stream this entire time. I just got a warning that there's no more space to record. Fair enough. I recorded for 3 hours and I had like 10 gigabytes free on my computer, so well, that's gone. But anyways, it's because you have to be so clean with it. If you get the wrong color, it feels wrong. If you're using something a bit more messy, it even if it's the wrong color, even if you mix it a bit weirdly, it fits in. It makes sense. Exactly. I don't want to think. This is why I love cheap markers, because there's no perfectionism to them. You just have to do whatever you have to do. You gotta commit to a bit. And that is what I believe sketching is about. And what I believe all of art is about, and which is why I really want to learn to be as loose as I am with sketching in my digital art. I haven't gotten there yet, but maybe next year I'll be there. Or maybe hopefully I'll just be a bit closer to it. What is happening to his hand? This is what happens when you sketch with no thoughts. No thoughts, but empty. No anatomy. But it still looks better. Still looks better than the old one. But 2024 was it was an okay year in terms of art. I don't have any complaints, and I don't think anything special happened because I do think this is kind of when I arrived to the point where I improve in small ways rather than in like crazy art improvement ways. Which is also why redrawing things from this era is not as interesting anymore. Like I truly think that they'll probably be more interesting, once I get older and this is further away. Like right now, I think 2023 is a cutoff point where I'm like, yeah, I can redraw things from there, but then here it's like, yeah, kind of no point to it. I'm like content enough with how my art looked like back then. Whoa, I'm so good at art, guys. Man, 10 years is a crazy amount of time. Let's see, I gotta finish this belt and then we get to 2025, which is great because there's no drawing in 2025. Yes, I don't have to draw anymore, even though this whole thing is about drawing. No, just then I don't get distracted. But for 2025, I wasn't gonna redraw anything because it's this year, or okay, I guess it was last year, but you know what I mean. Like it was 4 days ago. So I instead am going to draw about something that was asked earlier, which is my yearly redraw, my New Year's redraw. Because I need to justify myself. I need to justify myself, and this is the best way to do it. Oh my god, look at him. Hello. Oh my god. You look so good. Hi, there we go. If I render this, it wouldn't look as good anymore. But, yes, exactly. Yay, no more crying. Everyone clap. Okay. 2025. So, context. 2016. I drew this beautiful drawing where this is supposed to be me. And this little kitty, because I cannot draw humans and the only way I could represent it was a kitty, was 2016 as a year. And I was sad. I was like, goodbye 2016. 2017 is the new year. And then I redrew it. And then I redrew it. And I redrew it. And I redrew it. And that's kind of how I kept count of how many years I've been drawing digitally. because this was in my first year, and so I have redrawn it fully 9 times. You may be asking 10. Sorry. You may be asking, why not 10 times? Yes, exactly. I think, like, generally, anyone who's seen my digital art knows this piece specifically because I've done it every single year for 10 years. And so we started off with a tablet. Back when I used to spell my name online with a C, those are the times. And so I redrew it here. And this is kind of an example of how I preferred my 2017 art style to my 2018 one, because what the fuck is this? What? Truly, the only year I will shame publicly. I will not hold my punches. This sucks. Like, this one, at least, the colors may be way too bright. Also, this is, I think, one of those that's like 6,000 by 4,000 pixels or whatever. But, art style, then we go here. So muddy, but I think this is when I established that it's gonna be a paint lineless instead of just a normal piece of lines. Still corner sun for some reason. Still corner. It took me 4 years of corner suns. Then I added snow because I was thinking, January, there's a bit of snow. For some reason, the character that's supposed to be me is still wearing a t-shirt. Not gonna question that, but I think also this is one of the cute solo resolution. This is one of the cutest little cuties. But yes, sometimes exactly 2018 was a year for me to regress. So then in 2019, I have this like clean rendering and good line art. Then we have 2020. I would say the colors are a bit worse. However, this is where we're establishing it's nighttime because it's New Year's. We're in the pine cone forest. We've got snow. We've got the moon instead of the sun. This sets a lot of bases. I also like that we've got the ponytail going. Because then we come here and I think I really liked this back then, but we could see the improvement in terms of rendering. I kind of got the vibe more down. Then 2022, also a bit muddy, but now the composition has changed to include the golden ratio. The golden, oh my god, actually, wait, how did I incorporate it? It was like I saw this really fancy version of a golden ratio, and I've been incorporating since ever for 3 years until this year, where I was like, I need to stop, and I fully stopped. I'll explain later. But we have, okay, hold on, why is it not drawing? Come on, buddy. Aw. Okay, we've got the golden ratio here, but then what was it? There was some things that were going like this. And so I added those as the shine. And then there was a thing where it would cross here or whatever. And that's where I put the heads of the characters. Can you tell? Probably not. I still think, for me, it's a funny Easter egg. But I do like the sky on this one. And the pose of the king kiwi. The cloud was killed, and I think it was for better. No clouds, just stars. And then the year of the crack, 2023, the crack year. I realized that I couldn't get better because this was kind of like realistic-ish style, so I couldn't get better at rendering that. I decided to, since I can't do better, more quality rendering, I am going to use colors and go to textures and colors. I was like, since I can't improve one thing, I'll improve other ones, and so it is less quote unquote well rendered, I guess, or blended in and stuff, but I still think it looks so much better. This has to be one of my favorites. This is also, I kind of moved away from the formula, which is kind of funny because the year after this I was kind of oh, I have to keep within the bounds of the colors, until I realized that I've been changing the whole, every single time I've changed something pretty major about it, so it was completely fine to do this. But yeah, I love this. Also, the brushes from Clip Studio Paint carried with textures, great. Then 2024 was really good. I think it's not necessarily like a crazy amount of better than 2023, and not in a self-deprecating way, but in like a, I think they're both really good in different ways. But this one, yeah, no, it's amazing. I think it's really good. And so this year I was thinking like, how can I do this better? Because every single year for me has been this way, that this is the piece that I can show off to say like what my highest, like what's the most rendered thing I can do. I don't think I've ever had pieces that were more rendered than this one each year. But then, yeah, this was the one, and I really liked it, and it was kind of funny because halfway through I was like, it's so over, it looks so bad, and then I did like an extra layer and I started like adding more details, and it just propelled it. Still struggle to render the kitty. Thank you so much for eating it. I hope it tastes good. But then this year, I'm so sorry to admit, I didn't finish it on time. And since I didn't finish on time, I think I'm probably not gonna finish it. Like, I don't know. Maybe if I'm like struggling to sleep at some point and I decide to do it, I will. But I feel like since it was a tradition for so long, like I started when I was 10 years old. When I'm in uni now, I think it's okay to move on. And maybe one day I'll redraw it again. No one used to know. If I don't bring it up, they won't know. No one's gonna think about it. I did, however, start it. I just didn't finish it because also I think I was busier this December more than I've ever been in my life, so I just didn't have time. And then I thought like maybe I could pull through, and then I did not have energy for it. I did start, however, and I will say the start already looks better than a piece before, and that was enough for me. That was enough for me to look at it and feel like that this base color, like just the full basics of the colors with some basic like lines of coloring already looked better than the previous year. That was enough for me. Like that, hold on, I can open the, here is the sketch version 2. I was gonna do this like these little things, this little more details and whatever. I changed her pose up a bit as well, gave her a little camera, and that's like my favorite part. The tree, I love this tree. It just looks better. And just knowing that I can do something in less effort that already looks better, I'm content with that. I'm happy. Thank you! Like, genuinely. Also, okay, one thing that like fully killed my motivation was that I started the file really small, and I was like, okay, once I'm done with the sketch, I'll like resize it, and then I didn't resize it until this point. And I was like, no, I don't want to redraw the color, like make all the edges like high quality again. So, I think this is the moment where I was like, no, it's okay. I'm moving on, and it's okay. Now look at the colors. Like, whoa. Yes, I actually haven't thought of how to end this. This was meant to be like a final little kind of, this is a good, like art summaries are fun, but I think this is a good representation of what my peak was every single year and how my peak has improved and changed over the years. Yeah, no. When you barely already have a motivation until 31st of December, it's no, too much. But yes, I don't have anything else to say. This is it. I'm probably not gonna edit this. For a second I was like, but what if I like edit it into something silly? Like if I have energy, there's no way in hell. This is 3 hours of footage. I don't even edit things. My program would crash. But yes, thank you for being here. Thank you everyone who was here and everyone who is here. Lemon, you became my number 3 fan now. Because YouTube says so. And, thank you. I'm really glad it was fun. Let me see. I don't even know where the stop streaming button is. Okay, I found it. Thank you for being here. And yippee! I mean, no, you were here for a third of it, ish. So, yeah, yippee, yippee. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice year. 2026, the year. Bye bye.